So this guy appears to hate society and he's about to get revenge on everyone. The guy's name is Martin. Martin is 24 years old and he lives in Tasmania. He's a weird guy. He does not have a lot of friends and this bothers him. So one day in 1992, his whole life changes. He started working as a handyman for this wealthy woman. So one day this woman was driving him somewhere and all of a sudden they had an accident. Their car hit a big tree and this woman died. But Martin was severely injured and he was taken to the hospital. His boss likes him and she left a bunch of money in her will for him. So suddenly, Martin is rich and he's happy to have some money now. But he's devastated about his boss's death. Maybe because he doesn't have friends. And now that she's gone, Martin only has his dad. So Martin's dad tried to buy Seascape Cottage, that he wants to turn it into their family business. But however, another couple beat him to it and they got it. And this pisses Martin's dad off, like he really wants to own that cottage. Not only that he was upset, he's unable to get over it. And unfortunately, it spirals into a really big depression and he took his own life. And of course, this is devastating for Martin. He has no one now. He's completely alone. But soon, his devastation turned into anger. And he starts to blame his dad's death on the new owners of the Seascape Cottage. He feels that they are the reason why his father died. He said they shouldn't have bought that place. Not only that, he started getting mad at the whole entire world because he feels like he doesn't have any real friends, that his loneliness is everyone else's fault. So in 1996, he decided to get revenge on the couples that bought the cottage, and not only them, to everyone in the entire world. So he comes up with a plan to kill that couple and everyone else he runs into. So he starts stockpiling guns. You know, he inherited money from his boss, so he has a lot of money to buy all this. He picks the location where he will start and it's time to put his plans into motion. So he packs all the guns in a bag, puts them in his car and drives straight to the Seascape Cottage. So somehow he gets into the cottage and he finds the couple that bought the cottage inside, and then he shoots them and unalives them both. Then he gets back into his car and he heads to the tourist destination, which is of course packed with people because it's a busy day. So when he gets there, he went to a cafe, got his lunch and calmly ate his lunch. When he was done eating his lunch, he went to his bag, brought out his gun and started shooting everyone there. Then he goes to the gift shop and starts shooting everyone in there. Then he started going to the parking lot to where he parked his car, and on his way, he also shot people. Then he drove his car out of the parking lot and leaves. On his way, he saw a woman with her 2 kids and he stops and shoots them all. Next, he saw a BMW that parked near the road. He stopped and shot everyone in the car. And he steals the BMW. Then down the road, he stopped at a gas station. There's a Toyota in front of him. He shot the woman and then kidnapped the man, put him in the trunk of his car and drove off. And from there, he drove back to the Seascape Cottage. He brought the man out from the trunk of his car and dragged him into the building. So a journalist came to the crime scene to report what happened. And then she started calling around to really get the story of what happened. She happened to call the cottage, and Martin was in there with his hostage. So Martin picked the call and warned her seriously not to call the police. If not, that he will kill the hostages that he has in the building. But actually, he has only one hostage. So Martin hangs up on her, and she really freaked out. She immediately calls the police, and she tells the police that the shooter is inside the cottage. So the police race out to Seascape Cottage, and they surround the place. And Martin does not want to come out, and the police does not want to go in because he might hurt the hostage. So they are now officially in a standoff, and this standoff goes on for hours. So police called the phone in the building, hoping that Martin would pick, and he actually picked the call, but he was not making sense at all. Sometimes he will laugh, sometimes he will mimic the voice of the police calling him. Sometimes he will behave like a child. Sometimes he will go silent. But not only that, his only demand was for the police to bring him an army helicopter that will transport him to the airport. It seems he's planning to flee this place. But regardless, the police was not ready to give him any army helicopter. At some point during the negotiation, he decided that he doesn't want the hostage anymore, and he unfortunately shoots the one hostage that he has. And police does not know that this is what is going on inside the building. If not, they would have rushed in to arrest him. So then hours pass, and it's late into the night, and they were not getting anywhere with the negotiations. So unfortunately, the cordless phone that he was using, the battery dies, and the police lost communication with him, and they don't know what he wants to do next. And so eventually it's the next morning, and Martin and the police has been in this standoff for 18 hours. So Martin plans to cause confusion by setting the cottage on fire, and then maybe in that confusion he can escape. So he actually did. He set the cottage on fire. While the place was burning, he started taunting the police like, "Come in and get me." But the police knows that the fire will chase him out. So instead of rushing in, they just wait. They're right, because eventually Martin runs out of the building with his clothes on fire. He starts stripping down to get the burning clothes off of him. And so police arrest him. And at the end of it all, Martin has actually killed 35 people and wounded 23 people. And for that, he's convicted and he's sentenced to 35 consecutive life sentences in prison.